Hi everyone, welcome to the second part of our Matilda series where we're enjoying the story by Roald Dahl of a little girl who is a clever girl. Let's see what their first extract says. Remember, you can pause the video and read it yourself, or you can listen to me. It isn't trash, Daddy. It's lovely. It's called The Red Pony. It's by John Steinbeck, an American writer. Why don't you try it? You'll love it. Filth, Mr. Wormwood said, and if it's by an American it's certain to be filth. That's all they write about. No, Daddy, it's beautiful, honestly it is. It's about— I don't want to know what it's about, Mr. Wormwood barked. I'm fed up with you reading anyway. Go and find yourself something useful to do. With frightening suddenness he now began ripping the pages out of the book in handfuls and throwing them in the waste paper basket. Oh, just imagine how Matilda must have felt. Here's the first question. What two words does Mr. Wormwood use to describe the book? Now don't forget, when you look back, if you find it, underline it. So, did he use beautiful and filthy, trash and filth, frightening and filth, or red and trash? Have a look through. Well done if you've got trash and filth. The words are separate, but they are there to see. It isn't trash, Daddy, and then filth. Matilda froze in horror. The father kept going. There seemed little doubt that the man felt some kind of jealousy. How dare she, he seemed to be saying with each rip of a page. How dare she enjoy reading books when he couldn't? How dare she? That's a library book, Matilda cried. It doesn't belong to me. I have to return it to Mrs. Phelps. Then you'll have to buy another one, won't you? The father said, still tearing out the pages. You'll have to save your pocket money until there's enough in the kitty to buy a new one for your precious Mrs. Phelps, won't you? Question 2. How does Mr. Wormwood tell Matilda to replace the book? Does he tell her to give it back to the library, to tear the pages out, to buy another one by saving pocket money, or to go to the shop? Have a look in the text. Well done if you said it's buy another one by saving pocket money. If you look in the text, it says, then you'll have to buy another one, won't you? The father said. You'll have to save your pocket money. Remember, you can pause the video and read the story yourself, or you can listen to me. So the following afternoon, as soon as Mrs. Wormwood had departed for her car for another session of bingo, Matilda set out for Fred's house to investigate. She knocked on his door and asked if he would be kind enough to show her the famous bird. Fred was delighted and led her up to his bedroom, where a truly magnificent blue and yellow parrot sat in a tall cage. There it is, Fred said. His name is Chopper. Make it talk, Matilda said. You can't make it talk, Fred said. You have to be patient. Question 3. Where did Fred keep the parrot? Let's see. What does the text say? Is it in his house? Is it in the bingo hall? Is it in a tall cage in his bedroom? Or in the lounge? Have a look in the text. You can pause the video if you're not sure. If you find it, underline it. Well done if you said a tall cage in his bedroom. very clearly marked on the page. The next bit of the story. "It's fabulous," Matilda said. "Will you lend him to me, just for one night?" "No," Fred said, "certainly not." "I'll give you all my next week's pocket money," Matilda said. That was different. Fred thought about it for a few seconds. "All right then," he said, "if you promise to return him tomorrow." Now, question 4 isn't a retrieval question. It's a what do you think question. So you need to remember what's happened in the story and have an opinion about what the characters are thinking. The question said, why do you think Fred changed his mind? Do you think he changed his mind because he wanted to? Because he wanted to get rid of Fred? Or because he would have some money to spend? Write down what you think. I think it's because he would have some money to spend. Now, the next bit of the story is one of my favourite parts, when Mr. and Mrs. Wormwood and the children have to go and look to see if there's somebody in the house. Matilda, of course, knows it's the parrot up the chimney. "Then go and catch them, Harry," hissed the mother. "Go out and collar them red-handed." The father didn't move. He seemed in no hurry to dash off and be a hero. His face had turned grey. "Get on with it," hissed the mother. "They're probably after the silver." The husband wiped his lips nervously with his napkin. "Why don't we all go and look together?" he said. "Come on then," the brother said. "Come on, Mum." Question 5 is another what do you think question. We can use the text to help us though. Why do you think the dad's face turned grey? Do you think his face turned grey because he wasn't very well? Because he wanted to catch the robber? Because he wanted to get on with it? Or because he was scared? What do you think? Those ones aren't correct. It's because he was scared. He says the father didn't move. He seemed in no hurry to dash off and be a hero. His face had turned grey. So because he was in no rush to be a hero and he didn't move, he didn't really want to do it because he was scared. He was also very nervous. Got the same piece of text here for question 6. What does Matilda's mum think they are going to steal? This is a retrieval question, so if you find it, you can underline it. What does Matilda's mum think they are going to steal? Does she think they're going to steal the silver, the napkins, the chairs, or the table? Pause the video and write down what you think. It's not the napkins or the chairs. She thinks they're going to steal the silver. There it is in the text. They're probably after the silver. Well done if you got it right. The next part of the story really discusses Matilda's actions. Her safety valve, the thing that prevented her from going around the bend, was the fun of devising and dishing out these splendid punishments. And the lovely thing was, they seemed to work, at any rate for short periods. The father in particular became less cocky and unbearable for several days after receiving a dose of Matilda's magic medicine. The parrot in the chimney affair quite definitely cooled both parents down a lot, and for over a week they were comparatively civil to their small daughter. Question 7 asks us, how long do Matilda's punishments last for? Do they work for an hour? Do they work for a day? Or several days? Or a week? This is a retrieval question, so if you find it, underline it. Pause the video if you want some more thinking time. As the wrong answers disappear, we can see that it's for several days. If we look in the text, it says, they seemed to work at any rate for short periods. They became less cocky and unbearable for several days afterwards. Our final question is a what do you think question. The same part of the text that we just read. Why do you think that it cooled the parents down? Do you think it cooled them down because it made them look silly, so they thought more about how they behaved to others? They were happy with themselves? Or they were too busy to talk to Matilda? Which do you think is the most closest to what should happen in the story? They weren't happy with themselves at all. They were made to look quite foolish. And they never had any time to talk to Matilda. It was because it made them look so silly, they thought more about how they were behaving to each other. Well done if you got that tricky one right. So how many did you get right of our quiz today? I hope you got all 8 right. Look out for part 3 soon in our special Matilda series. See you soon.